Hello, and thank you for tuning in. If you like scary movies, trailers, and reviews, or you're like us and you like making predictions about what's going to happen at the end of a horror movie, then subscribe to the Gutted Horror Podcast.
It would really mean a lot to us if you took a second to scroll down, hit that subscribe button, follow us across social media so you don't miss us spill our guts about horror films.
How do you gut someone?
Always trust my gut.
Hello, and welcome to Gutted. I'm Aleece.
And I'm Tony, and we're here to spill our guts about horror films. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to another episode. We have a Guess the Ending episode for you today, formerly known as a gut reaction.
And today we'll be discussing a film from 1995, JackO.
Think real quick before you die. Mr. Jack will steal your eyes. Mr. Jack will. Mr. Jack will.
Guided by a vision, a young boy stands between good and evil. Haunted by his family's secret past, he must face and fulfill his destiny.
Only Sean can stop this monster.
Give us the boy back!
Evil lurks in the shadows.
Mr. Jack will.
Fear has a new soldier.
Mr. Jack will.
And terror has a new name.
Mr. Jack will steal your soul.
JackO.
Directed by Steve Latshaw, this film stars Ryan Latshaw. Oh, I didn't know that. Gary Doles, Catherine Walsh, and Linnea Quigley.
This is an episode in 4 acts. First, we'll recap the first half of the film. Then we'll go over 5 predictions each. After watching the second half, we'll return with our predictions and conclude with our awards ceremony.
And if you haven't seen JackO and want to play along, it should be available on Tubi and Amazon Prime. And I believe it just recently became available on Shudder. Watch about 44 minutes minus any ads. Press pause and come up with some of your own predictions for the ending.
All right, Aleece, I wanted to start us off with just a little bit of an icebreaker question today.
Yes.
We have this movie, JackO, from 1995. And it is just oozing Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, direct-to-video, 90s VHS, all of that sort of stuff.
It did seem very Are You Afraid of the Dark?
And I wanted to know, what was Halloween like in the mid-90s for you?
I don't know. You get a basic costume, maybe make your own costume. Mid-90s. Let's see.
What was one of your favorite costumes from the mid-90s?
I was a witch like 10 years in a row.
I was Frankenstein like 10 years in a row.
Wow.
I had this Frankenstein mask that it's like the kind that only covers the top of your head and kind of some of your neck, and it has the bolts that come out. Mm-hmm. And I swear I wore that thing like 5 years in a row.
Yeah, I had this witch costume. I think I got it when I was in like 3rd grade. I loved it. And I kept wearing it year after year. And I finally had to stop when I got into high school. And it was very short by that point. And I was like, no, I probably can't wear this anymore.
Were you a pillowcase trick-or-treater like I was? Meaning your candy all went into a pillowcase, probably the one from the pillow that you were sleeping on that night.
No, I think I had a bag. I think I had like a trick-or-treat bag. I do remember one of my cousins had a pillowcase and he got home and he had a hole in his pillowcase. We're like, no, he
So
lost
all
like
his candy.
He lost like all his candy. We're like, oh man, I think we may have given him some candy.
Oh, that's nice of you.
I mean, we weren't that nice. We probably gave him like the Tootsie Rolls. But.
My favorite part was always trying to get as much candy as you possibly could, like running from house to house, but then at the end, sorting through and trading with other family members or friends or whoever went
Definitely sorting through and trading. We had to check every single one of our candies for holes in the packaging to see if razor blades could sneak their way in. And I'm like, oh man, no one's going to put a razor blade in my Snickers.
I was once invited into a house for a cup of water. And, you know, at the time, even thinking about it in retrospect, I was just like, I went inside. Yeah.
You went in? Did you drink the water?
Thirsty.
Oh no.
Yep. And I survived. So.
Yeah, I would never. No, last year we had trick-or-treaters and some kids straight up walked into our house. I'm like, well, no, boundaries. I didn't trust that kid.
Yeah, we're trying to get the trick-or-treaters out of our house.
I know. It's like, get out of here. I feared for my safety. Did you ever have any homemade costumes?
I don't think I started doing that until I was in college because I didn't have any money. So I was just like, I need a costume. I should probably just make it out of paper bags or whatever.
Actually, yeah.
Cardboard.
You had a really impressive paper bag cowboy costume in college.
That's what I was doing instead of my homework.
Yeah, it looked really good. I was like, I can't believe that's paper bags. And then you just threw it away afterwards.
You know, every once in a while you get a vision and you just go with it. That was actually also the year of probably my best carved pumpkin. I did an Arnold Schwarzenegger pumpkin.
The year that he was governor.
With my roommate, right? I think my roommate had the idea and we just were like, all right, how are we going to do this? So we made like a template and printed it out and then got like a pin and made little dots and then we did sort of a connect the dots thing. And when we were making it, it didn't really look like it was going to be that good. We're like, oh, this is cool. But when we turned off the lights and put the candle in it.
It was like the kind of Terminator that follows you, literally follows you as a pumpkin.
So yeah, we got a lot of praise for that. I was surprised too. I was just like, wow, that's probably the best thing that I've ever done.
I'm going to drop out of college. Yeah. This is the best I'll ever do. I want to just segue to my own homemade JackO costume today. I was trying to figure out how to segue to it. I initially was trying to wear my homemade jack-o'-lantern sweater that I made out of gaff tape, but it's so freaking hot right now. It's still in the 80s, of course.
Thank you, Southern California.
Yeah, thank you, Southern California, for making me sweaty. So I made my own JackO tank top.
That looks really cute, actually.
Thank you.
You know, you can do a lot with just gaff tape and a dream. That's the lesson of this story.
Make anything with gaff tape or duct tape, any kind of tape, really.
Before we get into what's going on in this film, how did you hear about JackO? Because it wasn't really on my radar. And then you started talking about it. And now all of a sudden it's on Shudder and it's on all these other platforms. Did you hear about it somewhere?
Okay, so I had never seen JackO, obviously. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this episode. But it is spooky season. We're in October. It's my birthday week. And I wanted to do a Guess the Ending, which is my favorite episode format. And I wanted to do some sort of Halloween themed movie that I hadn't seen yet. And that's really a tall order because I've seen pretty much almost every Halloween themed movie. But then I was scrolling through lists of Halloween movies and JackO stood out as one that I had not seen. And I was trying to figure out where it was, where we could watch it. And yeah, it's actually on Amazon Prime, Tubi, Shudder. We are not watching it on Shudder right now because at the time of filming this episode, it's not out yet.
Yeah, they get how it works. They understand that.
You guys get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the past, you're in the future, you know.
Yeah, so we're in the past right now and we have to watch it with ads. But I was quite excited to find a Halloween themed movie that I had not seen.
So I thought this movie was an 80s slasher and I immediately thought of something like Hackoween.
That's what I was thinking of.
And then we popped it in. We're like, oh, this is mid 90s VHS direct to video era type stuff.
It kind of reminds me of Mr. Boogedy.
Totally, yeah. Or just an episode of Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark? That's sort of the quality of this film.
In fact, when we open up in the movie, it's like a campfire. I was like, oh, this is very Are You Afraid of the Dark? And not spoiling anything in the first half yet, but everything so far feels like it could be an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, except for one particular scene starring Linnea Quigley. And you can probably guess why.
Like if Linnea's in it, then you're going to have some sort of gratuitous nudity.
You can guess why this one scene would make it not appropriate for kids. But hey, it's the 90s. So.
Other than that, this could have easily been Ernest Scared Stupid.
It felt like Ernest Scared Stupid. It had like an Ernest Scared Stupid themed Tubular Bells score in the background the whole time.
What's going on in the first half of this film? I was very excited about this and I wrote a synopsis.
Usually we just we talk about the movie and what's happening, but I went off to make my tank top, my jack-o'-lantern tank top. And when I came back, Tony had written this entire synopsis. So he's just going to read it because he's very proud of it, and for good reason.
I was eating Halloween candy. I'm probably hopped up on sugar,
Tony's very amped right now.
I'm sleep deprived. All right. We open on a campfire story. A man is telling the story of a killer wizard who was lynched by farmers in the early 1900s. The wizard vowed to return as a monster to wreak havoc on the town before his death. Flashback to a young boy on the farm who looks just like Sean, asking Dad if he's going to die. Dad is preparing to face JackO, and Mom is still learning her lines. Meanwhile, there is a lurking witch who stalks the forest. Why? We're not sure. Cut to the 90s. Sean and his classmates walk home and notice a lady who is known as the town witch. Robbie is a total butthead. The boys fight after Robbie throws a rock at the lady while she chills in her car. The lady gets out to help Sean and offers to give him a ride 1 block down the road to his house, but he can't ride with strangers, so they walk. Sean's dad is putting up the final touches on his haunted garage for the homeless, and Vivian, the witch lady, invites herself to help. Mom rolls up and forces her to have dinner with the family with some "please take my husband" or "let's get dinner over so we can start our threesome" energy. Flash to Sean, who's having dreams of JackO and astral projecting to the old Kelly farm in 1915. Cut to 90s grunger teens are searching for a grave of who knows what the night before Halloween. Serious love triangle vibes. They resurrect JackO and get slashed. Cut to the most insanely gratuitous shower scene of Linnea Quigley lathering up her body for like 10 minutes. Who is she? She's Carolyn, the babysitter. Makes sense. Her sister and sister's boyfriend Jim might also be babysitters, but we know they will all ditch little Sean for the party later that night. Now it's Halloween day and everything is getting prepped. The babysitters have been hired, JackO has been resurrected, and Dad has like 3 or 4 hotties who all seem to be into him for no apparent reason. We all know JackO is lurking in the town. The trick-or-treat festivities kick off with butthead Robbie dressed as a prisoner and no-name female friend dressed as a no-name princess, and they're both getting a lesson in capitalism by the Watsons, the uptight and conservative neighbors, who spend their evening watching "The Government is Stealing Your Money" infomercials. From there, we stopped. This is when it's getting good.
We did mention that we do open with a campfire, and there's one character in this opening scene that we don't ever see again, at least in the first half. I'm like, who is he? It's the main guy.
There's a lot of that happening in this movie. Who are they? What is this character? What's going on here? Who is that guy? Is that like, I thought it was maybe his uncle?
I thought it was his uncle too. And so we have Sean at the campfire by himself with his creepy uncle who's telling him the story of JackO. And honestly, the uncle's story was going on for way too long.
And he was speaking in Limerick the whole time.
He was really creepy. And you actually gleaned more from his speech than I did. I didn't really get that the wizard vowed to return as a monster. So he's JackO.
Yeah,
the wizard's JackO.
The wizard who was like a suspected wizard was lynched by the town or by farmers or something. And before he was hung, he vowed his revenge.
Okay.
So that's the classic setup.
So I did gather that the wizard's name is Walter Mackin. And we hear about and see him later when we see our quote unquote witch lady, Vivian. She has a locket with Walter Mackin's picture in it.
Yeah, he kind of looks like George Burns.
I didn't think that. You thought that.
To me, that's what I got. That's what I thought he looked like.
He looks like an older man.
Yeah, he kind of looked like a Sith Lord.
He looked like a Sith Lord.
Because he was wearing like
his
a cloak.
cape and hoodie, and he looked all like white and ashen. So I thought he just like created this demon out of a pumpkin and vines to come and kill all the Kelly family and lineage.
I don't think we got any explanation as to why the monster that he's coming back as takes the form of a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, we don't really know that.
We don't know that yet. Will we know? I'm guessing that we probably won't ever know. It's just going to be a thing.
Maybe he was lynched on Halloween, so he had to take on some sort of Halloween-like form.
It would make sense if, like, as part of his punishment, they put a jack-o'-lantern on him and then, like, guillotined him or something.
Oh, like public shaming?
Yeah. Or like, what's the reason why
pumpkin?
in that one, what is it? The Headless Horseman who carries a pumpkin around?
Right, Ichabod Crane.
Why does he carry a pumpkin around? Do you remember why?
He has no head.
So he
And
needed something.
He needed
has
some
no
sort of,
head.
and so someone carved a jack-o'-lantern and he's like, well, this looks like a head.
Okay, so
It'll
I'm
do.
hoping that this is kind of similar to that, where
They took his head off.
he gets lynched and then, his head is somehow removed. And he's like, I need another head. So I'm going to
Found
use
this jack-o'-lantern.
Jack-o'-lantern, yeah.
Makes sense. Good enough.
And then the movie, we're like jumping back and forth between dream sequences and the 90s.
For a low-budget movie, there was quite a bit of editing going on.
What do you mean?
What I mean by that is that it wasn't just one long scene. It was constantly cutting back and forth between present day, back in the day, and Sean having a nightmare of back in the day, and some teens in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Back to Sean having a nightmare, back to whatever Vivian's doing in the cemetery.
But I would argue that even by you explaining it, it was so convoluted that I was just asking more questions. Like, where are we right now? What era, what time period are we
I kept
supposed to
writing
be
things
in?
down and I was like, what is going on?
Are we in the 90s? Are we in a dream?
Are we in the cemetery? It was very confusing.
Didn't we have a dream within a dream at one point?
Yeah, Sean keeps having dreams within dreams.
So many layers.
Very
yeah.
inception of him. So he'll dream that he's back in 1915 with the old Kelly family. Then he'll wake up and he'll go to his window and see JackO outside his window. Then he'll wake up again. And then Vivian's there. And she's like, oh, go watch some cartoons.
At one point, she's playing like an older version of a witch from the past. And it might have been in the flashback scene. And she's just standing in the forest and she's just kind of like looking. She's not really doing it. She's like stalking back there.
That's the opening
lurking.
scene with the creepy uncle and Sean when he's around the campfire.
So was that in present day or was that in the flashback?
And they're talking about a witch, and then they pan over to Vivian just standing there with a cloak.
Yeah.
She looks very tired. And we're just like, oh, she's just a tired lady. Just let her sit down.
But later in the film, she has this really cool 90s style. She has like a purple crew cut sweater with a scarf as a belt.
Yeah.
And she's got the teased hair. She actually reminded me a lot of Aunt Gladys, but a younger and more attractive version of Aunt Gladys from Weapons.
From Weapons, okay.
Yeah. So I was getting that vibe.
Yeah, when she first rolls up in her car and Sean's walking home with his two friends and Butthead Robbie's like, that's the town witch. I'm going to throw rocks at her. This is what we did back in the day. I'm like, how do you know about that? You're like 8.
His family carries a vendetta. But also, this kid should definitely try out for the baseball team because his throwing arm is terrible. He throws a rock across the street
So
and it
he
like
should try
it
out?
like dribbles over towards, well, just, for practice reasons.
Right.
Like he throws the rock and he's like about to throw it. And then Sean's like, no, stop, don't throw it. And then he throws it and it like dribbles over towards her tire. And that's when she gets out and she's like, what the hell are you guys doing?
It pans up to Vivian's face and she just looks irritated. She's like, oh, fine, I'll go over there. Yeah.
But it does seem like she's following the little kid around. So I'm thinking that it's like, okay, she knows that this kid's family has a connection to the past and she does as well. So she's just like hanging around, lurking.
Yeah, she walks Sean home and actually sees the dad in the driveway hanging up some spooky decorations for their haunted house the next day. And she's like, oh, I'm here doing research on your family, actually. So she already knows who this family is.
She's giving out stalker vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know what her deal is.
And dad doesn't seem that concerned. He's like, you want to come to our party?
Okay. For some reason, dad is like the town hottie, but he's like this sort of middle-aged balding guy with a mustache.
Does he have a mustache?
I don't know. He looks kind of dumpy. I mean, no offense to that actor, but
he's an average man. I don't think he's balding, but he is just like an average looking dude. And Vivian's definitely hitting on him. He's like, okay.
But everyone in the movie is hitting on him for some reason.
Everyone's hitting on dad.
Like teenagers.
And then Linda, the wife,
babysitters.
comes home and she's like, not again. Flirting. Come inside, Vivian. I'm going to give you dinner.
We can't pay you, so let's feed you. There was like some sort of like sexual tension or energy going on.
At one point, Vivian joins Linda in the kitchen. She's really close to her back.
Yeah.
And Linda doesn't even have room to turn around.
Yeah, there's
Vivian's
all kinds of wild stuff going on in this movie.
Vivian's like, do you need any help? And Linda's like, no.
Yeah, we get a teens in the graveyard scene.
Another
slasher.
throuple. We have 2 dudes and Shannon. One guy who's doing a really good job looking drunk.
They all played it very good drunks. Maybe they were drunk.
So far, kind of the best acting in the movie is their portrayal of drunk teenagers. And they're in the cemetery the day before Halloween because they want to, I don't know, do spooky stuff with the old Mackin farm or the old Kelly farm gravestones.
It doesn't really make sense what their objective is, but it seems seems like they have one. They're not just going to drink beer and party, because if they were, it would be a different vibe, but it seemed like they were looking for something. But it wasn't really clear like what that was.
They said they were looking for the old Kelly gravestones.
Oh, okay. So they're just looking for like the local legend.
And they're like,
lore.
yeah, it's tradition that on Halloween you go to like the Kelly gravestones. And one of them even says, we're a day early. I'm just like, why are they there a day early?
Because they have parties to go to.
That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, I just missed that part. I was more consumed by their like 90s grunge style. So the guy with the slicked back hair that's like long and kind of flowing behind his ears. And the lady, she's got like this sort of like crop top jean jacket with like puffy shoulders.
Matching denim jeans.
Yeah. And then the dude's wearing like flannel with like a leather jacket, but it's like an extra large leather jacket.
So the two dudes are the two dudes are in flannel. The lady's in all denim. They're very 90s grunge. They look very cool. But we keep cutting back and forth to them. And then we get Linnea in the shower, showering for literally like 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm just like, wait, who is this character? And they don't tell us for a very long time.
She's introduced just in the nude and lathering up.
5 separate close-ups of one nipple.
Finally, I think they cut back to like the dad or the mom or someone. They're on the phone and they're like, we're trying to get a hold of so-and-so. They must be in the shower.
Yeah,
Carolyn. And then cut back to another 5 minutes of lathering up.
Carolyn, the babysitter. Carolyn's sister's outside with her boyfriend, Jim. And she's like, Carolyn, the phone's ringing. Carolyn, Linnea, jumps out of the shower, hops on the phone. And she's like, I can't babysit.
On Halloween? Come on.
I know, Linda.
And she's like guilted into it. It's like, we were really counting on you. We need you to babysit our kid while we're in the garage running our haunted house for the homeless.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, why do they need a babysitter? They're just in the garage.
Inside the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All kinds of questions going on here.
They really don't trust Sean.
They don't. I mean, this kid looks like he's going to just bolt at any given moment.
Maybe they know about Sean's night terrors.
In his astral projection, he's always cruising through the forest. He's just kind of like walking through the woods or an old barn. So I feel like this kid is one of those ones that just wanders off. We have the neighbors. At first, I was describing them as sort of like yuppies, but I wouldn't say they were young.
They're not young. They're just...
But they did remind me of sort of the neighbors in Married with Children, you know, like
Jefferson and Marcy.
Yeah, Marcy and Jefferson.
Yeah.
A little bit like that, but a little more uptight, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit meaner.
And they're just watching this sort of conservative TV infomercial guy or talk show, kind of like a Rush Limbaugh kind of thing.
Yeah, and they're both very angry. They're like, oh, Carolyn next door. Depreciating our value of our house because Carolyn lives next door.
The government's stealing our money. And it's Halloween. So
it's Halloween. And of course, they do get a knock on the door. It's Robbie, the friend, dressed as a prisoner, and the no-name princess friend. And they're like, trick or treat, mister. And he's like, trick or treat? You want a handout? I'm like, are you new to Halloween? This guy's never.
He's like, I own a grocery store. I sell candy. I don't give it away. This fool's definitely going to get JackO'd.
He's going to get JackO'd instantly.
Who else do we have? We have the Julie and her boyfriend,
Julie
Jim.
and Jim.
So Julie's like a college student and her boyfriend Jim's a motorcycle guy.
Julie, Jim, and Carolyn all ride over to the Kelly home on a motorcycle. We get one of our most awkward lines of the movie delivered by Linnea Quigley.
Wait, there was more than one awkward line.
This is the worst line. She hops off the motorcycle. She's talking to Sean. He's like, hey, how's my best guy? I love you, or something like that. And then she goes over to the dad. And she's like, oh, you really are like a little boy with all this Halloween stuff. The dad's like, yep, I really like Halloween. And Linnea's like, well, I like little boys.
Yeah, and then they don't say anything after that. It's just like, ugh.
We're like, ooh, Linnea.
I think the dad feels awkward and then he makes some other comment, right? Does he like diffuse the situation
I don't think he did. I think he played into it. He's like, come on inside. Mom's making chili.
Oh, God.
But that's basically what's happening so far in JackO.
Yeah. So we have dad who's dressed as Dracula.
Right. Iconic sex symbol in Halloween costume land. So this is how dad perceives himself.
And Sean at one point had a Jason mask, a Jason Voorhees mask. But on Halloween night, I don't think he's dressed up as anything unless he's just wearing all black with a Jason Voorhees mask, which is kind of like a budget costume for a family that goes out and does this sort of garage haunted house that is
They
raising
don't have
money
time
for the homeless.
him. They only have time for the
He does
homeless.
seem a little bit like a neglected kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, why does he need a babysitter when they're right next door?
And why does he need a babysitter when he has a TV?
I feel like mom and dad say they're doing a haunted house in the garage, but they're really like getting a hotel.
It's like
they
their swingers party.
Just like the energy that all of the women act around dad, and the way that mom is just, she's a total 90s mom where she is not really given any lines. She has to clean up, cook, and do all the things. But it seemed like she was down at any moment's notice.
Yeah, she does have a very interesting aura. When she was talking to Vivian, she looked jealous, but actually like intrigued, like threatening. She's like threatening her to stay for dinner.
Yeah, that was weird. She's like, well, you better stay for dinner.
It was aggressive.
We're not going to pay you.
She got wide-eyed. She's like, you have to stay for dinner. If you don't.
Vivian would have helped out and stayed even if they didn't.
No, could you see like Vivian's body language? She's like, oh, I actually have to go. I have other plans. And she was like slowly backing
out of here.
Yeah.
The movie within the movie, Coven, which, I love me a good movie in a movie. And this one did not disappoint. This was a part of the monster movie.
Playing some late night horror movies on Halloween evening.
And it was this woman who was dressed up as sort of like a Little Red Riding Hood walking through a grave site. And it's really sensual. And the dad and the boy are watching it. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, what are you guys watching? What are you letting this little boy watch?
The narration of the movie is like this woman's voice, very sensual. She's like, and then it took over my body.
It did really look like this could have easily turned into some softcore. But, it is a mid-90s straight to video slasher. It's confusing, but in a way where it's like, okay, I could totally see like watching this movie on Halloween or around Halloween while you're having some friends over and just kind of laughing
confusing but
at it.
endearing. Let's go into predictions.
All right. I have some great predictions for this. I'm very excited.
Mine aren't that good, so I'm going to go first.
But here's the way that works. Every time that you're really excited about your predictions, they're wildly off. And if my predictions are like, I don't know, I just kind of whatever I thought first thing that came in my head. Those are usually the ones that are more accurate, or like the throwaway lines, right? So even though I'm excited for my predictions, they're probably going to be bad.
I don't know. I mean, mine are pretty basic. I was kind of uninspired for these predictions.
Was it the movie or was it something about the predictions? Or you think that it's not really it's going to be a very predictable
It feels
movie?
like Mr. Boogedy, like a little kid's horror movie minus Linnea Quigley's 5-minute shower scene. Prediction number 1. Vivian, the witch, has been sent to kill the Kellys by Grandpappy Mackin.
Wow.
Because
that's not a tame prediction. That's a pretty wild prediction.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Vivian is wearing this locket of her great-great-grandpappy Mackin, the guy that was, sentenced to death or become a JackO. So that's the guy in her locket, right?
Oh,
because
I didn't notice that.
She showed up.
Very astute.
Oh, thank you. And that's the picture of the guy in her book that she brought to the Kelly's house.
I did notice she had the book. I thought she was
like,
just a researcher.
Well, that's what she says. She's like, hey, Sean, come look at this picture. And Sean's like, who is that? And the dad's like, just some creepy old guy.
So you think she's going to be a villain?
I think she was sent there to be a villain, but hold on.
And then falls in love with dad.
Of course, she can't resist his Dracula energy. She has been sent there to kill the Kellys and finally terminate this lineage of the Kellys per Mackin's wishes. Prediction number 2, Linnea's going to get slashed by JackO after getting nude one more time.
You think she's going to have another nude scene? I feel like she had like 10 minutes of on-screen nudity already.
She's like, it's in my contract. I will give you 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in one lump sum.
They were probably like, all right, it's in my contract to give you one nudity scene. And they just used the whole thing. They didn't even cut anything. They just used everything.
They used the whole thing and they replayed certain clips over and over. Like that boob clip. I'm pretty sure they played the boob clip at least 3 times.
Oh my goodness.
Initially, the prediction was just Linnea gets slashed by JackO, and that was too boring. So I
appreciate that you added some extra
I tried
details.
to add, because you were so excited about your predictions. I'm like, mine are really lame.
Yeah, if the prediction is like, Linnea Quigley will walk at least 5 steps.
I would never say
within
that.
the movie.
I'm just saying she's going to get slashed by JackO, because she got naked in a shower.
Okay. She's got to take 2 showers today.
She's going to take 2 showers.
She's getting ready for the Halloween
She's
party.
going to shirk on her babysitting duties and leave Sean by himself. She's getting ready for the Halloween party. And she has to get naked to put on her costume, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then after she gets her costume on, then JackO is going to come and kill her.
What do you think she's going to go as? What's her costume?
A pumpkin.
Yeah, what if she goes as a costume that's similar to JackO? And it's sort of like a Halloween resurrection
JackO's
thing.
Oh. Maybe you're
Turns into a love story.
Yeah, it could be.
3?
Prediction 3. Vivian's gonna refuse to sacrifice the Kellys and will save Sean.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Sean's gonna be in peril, and then Vivian's gonna be like, I gotta save him.
What's going to turn her? What's going to change her mind?
She just really likes Sean.
She's like, you know what? After getting to know this little boy, I'm not going to murder
This
him.
little boy has a good heart. Everybody else, meh. But
Yeah.
Sean obviously is like a good kid.
So in a
And
way, she is sort of like Aunt Gladys, but she's like a good version of Aunt Gladys.
she's a better Aunt Gladys. Sean is kind of like the only good character of the movie. Like he is the only one with a pure heart. And even though Vivian's been sent there to research or get rid of the Kelly line, she's going to realize that poor Sean doesn't deserve this and she's going to save him.
I like that.
Thank you. And number 4, Sean will defeat JackO and save his parents from Purgatory Dreamland.
Ooh, oh wow, we are going Purgatory Dreamland. That
Because-
is like some supernatural shit.
Well, there's that dream sequence that Sean had of his 2 parents kneeling in front of Mackin.
Gotcha.
When
yeah.
Mackin looks like a Sith Lord and they're
Yeah.
kneeling in front of him and they're like, and he's like, you guys can't leave or something like that. And they're reaching backwards out to Sean. They're like, Sean, save us. So I feel like that's foreshadowing.
Okay. Very interesting predictions,
Thank
I
you.
must say.
Thank you. And then number 5, my Whopper.
The Whopper.
The movie will end at a campfire with that creepy uncle from the beginning telling another story. We don't know who he's telling the story to this time. I don't even think we're going to figure out who that guy is. But he's telling the story
He's telling
again.
the story to no one.
He's telling the story to
He's just
no
out
one.
there.
And then we're going to see JackO coming up behind him. He's going to recline his scythe and get ready to slash and then cut to credits.
And then what are the end credit songs going to sound like?
I don't
Is it
know.
going to be like a 90s rock and roll ballad, or is it going to be like a
90s
spooky
metal?
Goosebumps?
Yeah. Or maybe like a 90s metal tubular bells.
Tubular bells.
Yeah.
That was your Whopper, huh? So it's going to end on the...
Like an
you
almost
think
slash.
JackO's dead, but JackO cannot be killed.
Exactly.
And now JackO's going to kill the messenger.
Because we think that JackO's in the ground. They're going to like have his scythe buried, the cross on top, and then JackO's all laid to rest. But then when that creepy uncle's telling a story again, JackO's still there.
So I thought the Whopper was going to be like JackO's going to turn out to be the mom.
That would be great. But no, this is mid 90s.
I like some of your predictions.
Only some.
And well, for a certain reason, because they might be similar to some of my predictions.
Okay, let's hear
And I was very surprised to hear that. So let's go and I'll let you know what my predictions are.
Okay.
My prediction number 1, this one's a pretty basic one. The next death that we are going to see is going to be the neighbors. And they're going to answer the door and give JackO, who's going to show up at the door, a lecture.
Oh, yeah,
saying,
like, great costume.
What are you looking for? Some free candy?
Aren't
Hey,
you a
what-
little old to be trick-or-treating? Yeah.
Did you pay for that with government money? Because
Government money.
I don't know. They're obsessed with the government or taxes and stuff.
I do think, yeah, they are going to think it's a trick-or-treater and they're like, oh, you're a little old for this, aren't you?
And then they get slashed.
Get a job, JackO.
Prediction number 2.
Maybe they'll coin the term JackO because it sounds kind of rude, like a slur. I mean, hey, get a job, JackO. And
It does kind of, yeah. It sounds kind of silly. Prediction number 2. Linnea, also known as Carolyn, is going to get killed. So similar to your prediction. After Sean runs off into the forest, because I think he's like a kid who's like a flight risk, she gets sickled, and Julie, her sister, thinks that everyone ditched her for the party. So Julie's like walking around. Hello? Is anyone there?
Jim?
Is anyone there? Yeah, where is everyone? Her boyfriend, Jim, is going to be dead off screen. And then he kind of appears and then she gets slashed. So all 3 of the babysitters get slashed.
Yeah, just like the 3 teens in the cemetery.
Yeah, while mom and dad are next door in the garage running the haunted house. Prediction number 3. Vivian will save Sean with a magic spell. She needs the boy to break the curse. So I also think that she's clearly like following around this little boy. And instead of needing to kill him, she needs him for something to like break the curse. Maybe it's like you need someone in the family line who is pure of heart. And then they need to recite a limerick or something and then they're good.
Dad needs to recite a limerick. Be done.
Yeah.
You know what? I like that because maybe Vivian's been saddled with this task and she doesn't want it anymore. She doesn't want this responsibility.
Yeah.
So the only way to break Mackin's hold on her is to get somebody who's pure of heart.
Maybe she's been following around Dad for years and he used to be this like hottie hunk in high school and that's why she's kind of into him.
Ew. So she's known
And then she
him
realized,
since high school?
well, she's been stalking him around because she's like researching the family. And she realized like, oh no, this guy is not pure at heart. He's like,
He's philandering with his
watching
eyes.
Skinamax with little kids, like, not a good look. Anyways.
Not a
can't really go anywhere with that. Prediction number 4, Mom and Dad will be trapped but not dead. And I was just thinking like this was a 90s trope where somebody is like you were saying in purgatory or I thought they would just literally be like stuck in the closet or in the haunted
garage.
house.
Someone closed the garage door.
Yeah, they're like, help, because they don't seem like characters that would get killed in this.
No.
But we need them to be removed from the scene because I think the final act is going to be Vivian and Sean and then JackO. But that would make sense, like what you said, like they're in this sort of purgatory state and Sean's trying to save his parents.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense. So I kind of like your prediction on that one. But yeah, that is my prediction number 4. Number 5, my whopper is that Robbie the prisoner is the final kid.
What?
Just kidding. But wouldn't that be great?
Robbie saves the day.
Yeah. Yes, the whole town is murdered and Robbie the prisoner somehow makes it out alive. No, my serious number 5 whopper is that Dad and son have to sing the magic limerick to ward off JackO with the help of Vivian while Mom is stuck with haunted house cleanup. Divorced. Was it a good prediction? No. Was I excited about it? Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like a typical way to wrap up a mid-90s story in divorce.
But also father and son bonding because it is a very long poem that they have to recite. Like every time they talk about the poem of JackO, they recite a completely different line that I haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
I mean, how long is this freaking poem?
I was also thinking of the whole thing in the 90s where the way to kill the bad or the villain or the monster
I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of you anymore.
I almost had that in my prediction.
It seems like the type of movie where a kid is going to say, I'm not afraid of you. And all of a sudden.
It is the kind of movie where a kid has to conquer his fear in general to be a man.
And then one day he can be like Dad and get all these hotties.
Get all the neighborhood hotties. Yeah.
And Mom's cool with it. And she'll still clean up and do the dishes and make dinner and all that.
But in a really threatening way. I will make you dinner. Sit down.
All right. Well, I'm having fun with the first half of JackO.
I'm having fun. Do you have any favorite characters?
Definitely not the dad. I would say maybe Vivian. She's got a cool style. I don't know if I like the kid.
I kind of like the kid.
The kid's kind of annoying to me.
I feel like Sean is doing the best with the dialogue right now. I feel like he's actually putting his whole heart into this performance, whereas everybody else is acting like they're in a movie called JackO that went straight to video.
Well, the kid is the son of the director, I'm guessing, because they have the same name.
But he's still doing a good job. See, everyone else is kind of like phoning it in. They're like, this is going straight to video. Nah.
Yeah, especially Eunice. I know it was a flashback and that character doesn't matter, but her line delivery was really bad.
I want to imagine that Eunice is like the director's wife and she didn't want to do it.
Jeez, I hope not.
And she's like, fine, I will do this, but I'm not going to try.
That whole interaction of that first flashback scene seemed like I was watching a high school play.
It did seem like her lines were taped up behind the camera.
Yeah.
But hey, still having fun.
I'm excited to watch the second half of JackO. This could really go in any direction, literally in any direction.
Literally, any direction. JackO. All right. Be right back.
Richard! Richard! Gotta get away! Gotta get away!
We have just finished watching JackO.
That's all I have to say is just laughing.
The end.
The end. Episode over.
Episode over. We also just finished searching the interweb for some of the DVD commentary. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah. Needless to say, I feel a little like unsettled. But going back to JackO, where we just left off, we left our ornery neighbors, the Waltons, Mr. and Mrs. Walton, with their TV dinners, watching their right-wing, infomercial with some guy saying that liberals don't deserve to live. I was like, this is intense.
I was thinking, oh man, how things have not changed since this movie came out.
Hey, there's always going to be political strife. Yeah. And so Mr. Walton goes outside and he shoos those kids away. And then JackO shows up and he delivers a line close to what I thought he would say. He's like, aren't you a little big for trick-or-treating?
Wait, so are we sort of going over the predictions as they come up?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll remember that if one of my predictions comes up. Because mine was that the neighbor's going to answer the door and give JackO a lecture, then get slashed. So that's kind of correct, right?
Yeah, he lectures him. He's like, aren't you a little big to be trick-or-treating? And then he gets scythed.
And he almost, like you were saying, almost said JackO. He called him
Bucko.
Bucko, dang.
And it was really aggressive. I actually thought maybe he said fucko. And I was like, whoa.
Get out of here, fucko.
And so I was kind of correct a little bit in my thought that the term JackO was going to come from the neighbor. So close. He got the O, didn't say Jack.
Yeah.
So
I could have
close.
easily named this movie Bucko. It would have been the same.
So he's scythed, and then Mrs. Walton goes outside and she's like, oh no, you're dead. She runs back in the house, doesn't close the door. She's too panicked. I get it. She runs into the kitchen. The lights are all turned out. She grabs a knife, slips on a rug, and plunges it into the live toaster. And she's cooked.
Burnt to a crisp skeleton, rotted face.
Home Alone
Her hair
2
is all
style.
nuts.
Yeah. This scene lasts for like just as long as Linnea Quigley's shower scene. It's like a long execution.
And it was absolutely incredible. And I was laughing the whole time. I was shocked. Literally.
Just as shocked as Mrs. Walton. And JackO just stands at the front door like, what the hell?
I guess I don't have to do anything here. All right, let's move on.
Job done. And he keeps on going. And then we get to Robbie and our princess. They go to the Kelly's spooky garage. They are the first and only guests at this garage for raising funds for the homeless.
I had a feeling this haunted garage was not going to be a success.
Going to be a bust.
It was going to be a bust. I just, the guy putting up the bed sheet on the door, charging $1 to little kids, like everything about this was just wrong.
He peeled those grapes on his own. And only one kid got to feel them.
So the kids, they're about to go in. Mr. Kelly gives them the sort of creepy speech, like, prepare to be scared. And then they walk in and they're like looking around like, yep, this looks like a garage covered with sheets and there's a fog machine.
They have one of those clap on demons that's hanging from the ceiling.
Witch or the witch demon. I remember those. Yeah, those were really popular in the 90s for sure. Everyone had one of those.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they had one of the games where you stick your hand into a hole and you fill different, like eyeballs and brains and stuff, but it's just fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. But then Robbie looks into one of the holes and sees something. I never figured out what he saw. Did he see JackO?
He saw JackO, and then JackO grabbed his hand and he ran out screaming.
Oh.
So then the dad thought like, oh man, I'm really terrifying these kids with my bed sheets.
But then he goes lumbering into the garage. yanks a rake and spills a whole like wall of paint all over the floor.
Well, he's scared because he sees a shadow that looks like JackO.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's like going to inspect it, and it's just a rake and some clutter.
It's a rake and a globe. And
Yeah.
so he yanks the rake, and then a whole tower of paint falls on the floor.
And now they have to close the haunted garage and immediately get changed out of their costumes, and it's like night over. That's it.
Night's over. They've been
Mom's pissed.
It's really sad because they've been planning this for like, you could tell, like months. This was their big do-gooder event of the year, and they raised $2.
They raised $2. Oh my
So
God.
of course Mom's pissed. She's giving everyone that wild eye, and Dad's completely like cleaned up. No
she
makeup.
has some eyeballs on her. Her eyeballs are intense.
I love her eyes when
Yeah.
she's just like staring at Vivian. Because at one point, and I think this happened before the break actually, at one point Sean's sitting on Vivian's lap and Mom gives her the eye. I'm like, good.
Yeah, that's way too close. Like, what's going on
Get
here?
off his
lady,
lap.
you just met this kid today.
You met this whole family
Yeah.
today. Too close.
Yeah.
And then Julie, Caroline's sister, sneaks off because she really doesn't want to go trick-or-treating with Caroline and
I mean,
Sean.
honestly, I don't blame her. She got roped into babysitting with her sister.
I don't
Like,
know.
why? You don't need two people to watch this one little kid when his parents are in the garage.
He is unruly.
And they have another babysitter who's literally has the kid on their lap. Like, okay, this is helicopter parenting right here.
Yeah, we
There's
need
too many
Vivian,
cooks
we
in the
need Caroline,
kitchen.
we need Julie and Jim just to make sure
Yeah.
because he sleepwalks maybe.
I don't know what they do, why they're so protective of this kid. But anyways, Carolyn, her only job is to go take him trick-or-treating.
He's the only living heir of the Kellys to defeat JackO.
Maybe they all knew beforehand, and so they're
They
trying
knew.
to protect him at all costs.
Yeah. So finally, Julie sneaks off with Jim and very boldly like rides by the Kelly house as they sneak off. I'm just like, you should have sneaked off better, lady. But
Why does she need to sneak off? There's no
that's what I was
reason why she
thinking.
needs.
You
She's
should've
an
just been
adult.
like,
She
yo,
can just
Caroline,
leave.
I don't want to go trick or treating. I'm going with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Easy. Problem solved.
Yeah, where do they go? They go to the cemetery.
They go to the cemetery. It's romantic.
Yeah, but they're
And-
going to get busy.
They're going to go get busy. And then Caroline and Sean, they go off trick-or-treating because, he's one child and that's a fine job for one adult. And then Jim and Julie, Jim's being a jerk in the cemetery. I don't know what he said, but Julie's like, I don't like you. And then Jim's like, fine, I'm going to go get beer. Walk home on your own.
Damn.
And he leaves her with her cool chartreuse leather jacket in the
She
middle of the
does have
cemetery.
a really good Halloween outfit, but they're not dressed in costumes.
No,
so
they
like,
just look
what
really
Halloween
cool.
party are they going to? Yeah.
Their own party in the cemetery with beer.
That's the thing. It's like, if you are not going to be dressed up on Halloween, then you may get slashed.
And I was actually really disappointed when Jim drove off without her because then JackO's stalking her. And I really didn't want her to get slashed because of that jacket. I was like,
protect the jacket.
Protect that
Take the jacket off and then you can get slashed.
Hang it on a branch and then run away.
Yeah.
But when she was wearing that jacket, I was like, you can't get her. And sure enough, JackO goes after her. And then he stumbles upon Jim. Jim comes back. He decapitates Jim. Jim's head goes rolling right in front of Julie. And she's like, and she runs.
In the decapitation scene, you get both of like the like hands that are moving frantically right by the
Yes.
neck.
Like-
with like the little stump of a neck and little, I don't know if blood was spurting out, but I feel
Yeah.
like there was a little bit of
Yeah.
little blood squirt.
It's like the old like chicken with the head cut off thought.
Yeah, and then the head comes rolling out towards Julie, and the expression on the head was really funny. Like they gave the head like a really shocked expression.
Wouldn't you be shocked when you're getting decapitated?
Yeah, but it was just unexpected.
I guess when you get decapitated, you get to keep whatever expression you had when you got decapitated. So Julie runs off and finds the cable guy who's busily trying to repair the Waltons' cable so they can watch their right-wing media. I don't know.
It's like a Rush Limbaugh shock jock host kind of thing.
It looked like an infomercial. And so he's trying to repair the cable and Julie comes running up to him and she's like, we gotta go. He's coming. He's like, there's nobody out here. I'm going to discredit you. And of course, JackO scythes him.
Yeah, JackO's right behind him the whole time. JackO was actually standing behind him for like a good 3 seconds.
Like, just kind of like patiently waiting.
You could see him in the
around.
shot. Yeah. It's like, oh, he's right there.
Yeah. So then Julie runs off again. And JackO at one point encounters Caroline and Sean at the playground. And Caroline, Linnea Quigley, delivers a really good like babysitter scream, like, run, Sean. And she's trying to feed. Get out of here, Sean. And he does. And then JackO, like, I don't know, beams her in the head with his
He's like knocks her out. She gets knocked out at the playground.
He's like, I'm not here for you. He knocks her out and walks off.
Yeah. Well, you know, if he wasn't here for the other bystanders, then why did JackO go after the neighbors? Just because they were annoying?
The neighbors were mean to trick-or-treaters.
So it's why so selective? He's just going towards the boy.
JackO has other standards. So he kills the mean neighbors that have their porch light on but no candy. And then they lecture kids on the meaning of capitalism and working for your candy. So he kills them. And then he kills Jim because he's a sexist jerk that leaves his girlfriend in the middle of the woods with nothing to protect her.
Okay.
And then he kills the cable guy who discredits her even though she's obviously fearful of something.
What about the teens, the 3 teens?
The 3 teens.
Because they're grave robbing?
They're grave robbing and they're being disrespectful to the dead.
Okay. So JackO has like a sort of moral compass or code.
He has a code. Yeah. So he doesn't kill Julie because she has a cool jacket, and he doesn't kill Caroline because she's going to protect her kid that she's babysitting.
But she was nude for 10 minutes in a horror movie. That breaks the rule.
And you know what? Whose rule is that? Not JackO's. And I appreciate that. You should be able to take a shower naked whenever you want to and sensuously soap your body up, because that's how you get a good lather.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that he didn't kill Linnea.
Yeah.
Even though that means that I'm definitely not going to get anything right in my predictions.
Well, yeah. I thought Linnea was definitely going to get toasted, but she did not. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Due to JackO's decent moral code and compass, then Linnea got to live.
Honestly, she was probably the strongest actor of the bunch. I know you were gunning for the little kid.
I was.
But he just did not show up in the second half of the film.
He got tired. He spent all his energy in the beginning. He's a little kid. He probably has school to do or schoolwork to work on, and he's tuckered.
I wonder if they were shooting a bunch of overnights and maybe they shot it chronologically.
I think they were.
And then by the time they got to some of those end scenes, this kid was probably... He's like, I cannot be up.
It's like 8 hours past my bedtime. Like, please let me go to bed.
Oh my goodness.
So I think the kid actually was doing really well in the beginning. And those night shots, I think he was probably legitimately tired.
What about when we got the sort of table scene with Vivian, mom and dad? It's like the exposition scene.
Oh, right. And they're like, where's Sean? And Vivian's like, okay, I got to break it to you. I am a demon hunter. And I am here. I'm using your child as bait, just so you know.
But it was so unclear. Was she on the kid side or was she on JackO's side? Because at one point she had a line that says, it has to kill Sean before Sean kills it.
I feel like she mixed that up.
Or maybe we didn't hear like part of what she said to set up that sentence.
Because we were talking over her rudely, but we did catch the last part.
We were laughing.
We got the last part of her speech where she's like, it has to kill Sean before he kills it. And we're like, wait, whose side are you on?
Like she wants JackO to kill Sean, but that could have been like, wasn't that your prediction where she was using the kid as bait or something like that?
So she did say that she's using the kid as bait. My prediction was that her great-great-grandpappy Mackin wants her to kill the Kelly's family line. And then she's going to change her mind at the last second. But no, that wasn't it at all. She does have a locket with the Mackin guy in it. I don't know why. And then she's like, I'm a demon hunter. And first of all, I didn't know that JackO was a demon.
That was established in the beginning.
JackO's a demon?
Yeah.
I thought JackO was Mackin.
Well, I think because he was hung and wanted to seek revenge,
he became a demon?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could become a demon.
I guess if you're a wizard, you could become a demon.
So he went from wizard to dead to demon.
Yeah.
Pseudo alive. Okay, got it. All right. So then she becomes a demon hunter who's hunting down her own lineage? Like, isn't Mackin her great-great-grandpappy?
I was confused.
I was a little confused. Partially.
Honestly, that wasn't the part that I was paying attention to. I just loved that it was kind of like, one of those movies that makes you laugh the whole time.
It was fun. It was a fun watch. And then Vivian does tell mom and dad, like, hey, I'm going to help you get your son back. Don't worry, but you have to do everything I say.
Exactly as I say.
I'm like, okay, good. We're going to hear her recite this poem about JackO because I wasn't catching it in the beginning. They get to the cemetery. They see Jim's head. They're like, oh no, Jim's head. And they go to the gravestones. Oh, I forgot to mention that JackO, in the meantime, before parents get there, he's buried, not super efficiently, Sean in a shallow grave.
JackO captured Sean. You forgot to mention another scene when Sean is escaping. So after Linnea gets knocked out in the playground, then Sean runs away and he's running home because he's on a shortcut to get home, and he's running home and he can't get in because the door is stuck.
The door's stuck.
Yeah, just like in the scene we saw earlier with the two babysitters when they got there. Dad was trying to open the door and it was stuck.
The door's jammed. Gotta get that fixed.
Yeah, foreshadowing for sure. And then when Sean is running up and he's like, Mom, Dad, let me in. And I think we were joking like, nah, you could stay outside, kid. You're
stay
good.
outside.
Just stay out there. But the door was stuck. And then we see the scene.
getting closer and closer.
Yeah, JackO goes and lunges towards him, and then we see like what looks like a blood splatter on the window, and we both gasped.
We're like, oh my god!
Like, oh my god, they killed the little
JackO
kid.
just killed Sean, and I was like, where do they go from here?
Yeah, so they get the door open, and then they realize oh, it's just that juice box that he got.
They don't realize it. Vivian investigates. She looks at the ground and finds an empty juice bottle. She's like, I don't think this is blood.
How can you not tell the difference between blood and juice? Unless you're drinking like a V8 or something.
That was a really thick juice. It was like palm.
Maybe it was beet juice.
Yeah, like really thick palm or beet juice.
Yeah, I could see. Okay. So then JackO is leading Sean. He's like forcing him to walk because at one point I thought they were still in a chase and JackO was like right behind Sean.
Butt, yeah.
And I was like, what's up with this chase scene?
No, it's like march, kid. March to your shallow grave.
He's like marching him out to the shallow grave for sure.
And Sean does look tired. Like the poor actor kid.
Yeah,
he's tired. He's like trudging through the forest. He lays down in the grave, and Jack was like,
he's just so defeated. He's just like, okay.
He's like,
whatever.
Fine. I've been through the ringer. I got juice while I was trick or treating. I wanted candy.
My babysitter got knocked out.
Ugh.
I've been having these.
My parents wouldn't open the door. Yeah, he can't sleep because
my parents wouldn't invite me to their garage haunted house for some reason
because I didn't have $1.
They're gonna charge their kid.
Yeah, so he just lays down. He's like, I'm tired. I'm just gonna take a nap here.
Out, yeah.
And Pumpkin Man is scooping very slowly dirt onto the kid. And Sean's like, no.
That was okay. That also, we both laughed out loud. His reaction when he's starting to get covered. And it's totally like a Troll 2 moment.
Yeah.
Where it's like an underwhelming scream.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He goes, no.
No. And I just love it. I'm like, oh, poor little kid. He's so tired.
Like, we have one shot. You better get this kid.
We got one shot, kid. And he's like, okay, Dad. No. Can I go to bed now?
That was pretty funny.
So according to the commentary, the legs in the grave were not the kid's legs because
they didn't want to bury a kid in the dirt?
The dad, the director, did not want to bury his own kid in dirt. So he used fake legs. Interesting tidbit.
Nice tidbit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Sean is buried and then parents roll up. No, Vivian rolls up and she's like, hey, Pumpkinhead, I got to say something to you. JackO turns around and scythes her in the belly.
Well, I mean, she's not really trying to get away or anything, so she's just sort of standing there.
She looks very intense, though. I'm like, okay, she's going to do something.
It looked like she was going to do something.
I thought she was ready to do something. Yeah. And no, he scythes her in the belly, picks her up with the scythe, her body flailing in midair.
With like one of those puppets. It's like a puppet with a wig on. It's like one of those scenes in Living Color or something.
Oh my God, it's my favorite thing when you have something fake that's like flailing around midair. It's one of my favorite things. Second to when people throw a fake cat at someone's face. That's my favorite thing in movies. Anyway, Vivian's dead. And then mom and dad show up and they're like, oh man, Vivian's dead. And I was like, what the heck? Vivian was supposed to tell them to do exactly as she said.
Now they're not going to know what to do.
They don't know what to do.
She did spend a lot of time carefully nailing these two logs together into a cross.
That was her problem.
And she used like 6 nails and she was going at it for quite a while.
And
I was like, all right, is this done already? Like, why do you keep grabbing more
Meanwhile,
nails?
JackO is really burying Sean. And credit to the parents. They're not trying to rush Vivian at all. They're like, okay, you're the expert. We said we would do
exactly as you said. So we're going to just wait here until you're finished.
Wait patiently. Our kid's in the cemetery getting buried right now.
We can see him over there. It's like he's half buried right now.
He's up to his neck, but it's okay. Yeah. We promised.
Even though he's like 2 inches under dirt, it seems like he's dead at this point. But I think he's just tired. I think he's
taking a little nappy nap. Anyway, Vivian's dead and parents are like, okay, we're going to do our own thing now. And they're like, what do we do? How do we fight you, JackO? And JackO's coming after them. Sean, meanwhile, has woken up from his nap and he's crawling. He's crawling out of this grave and he's like, get away from my mom and dad, pumpkin man.
That's pretty much an I'm not afraid of you kind of ending.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of you, pumpkin man.
He saves mom and dad.
He saves mom and dad. Possibly my only point of the evening. Yeah.
No, you got a point on the first one.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I got nothing.
Well, I said that Vivian will save Sean with a magic spell. And she needs the boy to break the curse. Maybe a little bit of that second one.
She needed the boy as bait.
So
that's the point.
Maybe that's a half a point.
I think that's a point. Mine was that Vivian's been sent there to kill the Kellys. That wasn't it. She's a demon hunter.
Somehow the little Sean gets the wooden cross. And this wooden cross, for some reason, is also like rubber. It's like a rubber prop. And it looks very rubbery when they're
we find out through the commentary. It is made of rubber.
And it's so funny in the commentary. The writer is like, why didn't you just use 2 sticks? And the guy's like, we didn't have enough time or money. And he's like, but it's 2 sticks.
And then the director's like, you're right. I didn't think of that. But you know what? In the director's defense, when you're filming late nights, you're not always thinking clearly. So you're just like, let's go buy a prop cross. Come on, guys, get out there.
I could see that. I could see why they would do that for sure.
Yeah, because you're just like, you're running on fumes. You're like, we gotta just buy it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sean takes the cross and puts it upside down and Pumpkinhead's coming at him. And the dad or mom and dad,
I think it's more dad.
Dad.
Yeah.
Maybe mom's tending to Vivian. Maybe she's not dead. Anyway, so dad shoves JackO onto the cross and skewers him in the belly. Pumpkinhead dies and they throw him in the shallow grave.
They throw him in the shallow grave.
I think they throw him in the shallow grave. Oh,
no. He gets pinned to a tree and then he does kind of like, it's like a leprechaun death where he starts moving around and he kind of just evaporates into the ether with a bunch of colorful smoke and stuff like that.
Yeah. So because he's been skewered in the chest, then he like, whoop, 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 and
but there was some cool shots. Like there was a scene of a little demon escaping from his belly.
What?
And it was very quick. Yeah.
I did not see that.
You'd have to watch it again, but it's like a little red demon kind of escaping from his belly and then going back in. And then he's kind of like moving around and then there's the whole...
So the red demon didn't get out. It went back in.
It went back in. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I think then when he exploded, it's kind of like a bad CGI explosion. Then it leaves.
Like an early days 90s CGI
like
explosion.
Like a mid-90s
Mid-90s CGI explosion.
Yes.
Good. And then they're like, okay, let's go home. And Sean, he's grown up now. And he's like, hold on, Mom. There's something I got to do first. And he grabs JackO's sickle and he puts it on his great-great-grandpappy Arthur Kelly's gravestone.
Yeah. You mean grown up as in he's matured. There's not like a time skip.
No, like he metaphorically grew up that night.
Right. Yeah. This is when he's stopped being a kid.
He's a man and he can start trick-or-treating by himself.
And of course, Carolyn and Julie both survived the night. Julie comes out of like a hole, a ditch or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that maybe there was going to be more that happened because they were kind of setting it up for like another suspenseful
like something
moment.
else. Julie crawls out of a ditch with her yellow jacket on. I was like, oh, she made it.
Pristine.
And Tony's like,
not any stains.
Tony's like, for now. And I was like, what do you mean? She made it.
Because it looked like she was going to get stalked by JackO or something.
Yeah, but no, she gets out and she finds Caroline at the playground. Caroline just wakes up and they stumble out.
And of course, they're like right across the street from the
house.
neighborhood and the house of where.
They're like, look, it's the Kellys.
Yeah. We only had to walk across this park and we couldn't make it that far.
Yeah. And so the 5 of them all team up and Dad's like, all right, guys, time for breakfast. I'm buying.
Breakfast on the kid's like, can I just please go to sleep?
Yeah.
Please?
Sean's like, I am exhausted. Please. Caroline's like, nope, I just took a nap. I'm good to go. I want pancakes.
She's like, what did she say? I feel like a slice of pie.
And that's right. She's like, I want pie.
Yeah. And then Dad is like, what kind? Or was it Dad or Sean?
Sean's like, what kind, Caroline?
Anything but pumpkin.
Oh. And then close up on JackO's face.
Oh yeah, now JackO's maybe just like a lawn decoration.
I think that was just a lawn decoration.
Looks just like JackO.
JackO.
So is JackO going to come back? We don't know. Hasn't been back since. So.
Hasn't been back yet.
But there's still time.
There is time. Yeah, that was JackO.
That was JackO. Oh, I also want to mention the end credits they do my favorite thing where it's like
in the
a
Faculty
small clip and it freeze frames and then says the name of the actor.
Oh yeah, like in Scream and the Faculty, they do that where they show all the characters.
Love that, yeah.
I love that too.
Love that. All right. So what about the rest of your predictions? We kind of went over a couple of them. I wrote that in my prediction number 2 that Linnea was going to get killed after Sean runs off into the forest. I mean, they were in the forest. I had a feeling they were going to be back in that like forest cemetery.
Sean does run off into the forest. Linnea doesn't get killed, but she does get knocked into out.
The forest. Yeah, no, that's not really a thing. And then she gets sickled. And then Julie...
She does get sickled with the butt end of the sickle.
It's like we were so close, but not quite there. And then I thought that Julie was going to die. I thought for sure the boyfriend was going to die, but I thought he was going to be an off-screen death. Where she like finds the body and then screams and then she gets slashed.
She does find the body and scream, but she runs away.
Yeah, this is just a no. This is like an almost. This almost could have been a point, but I'm not going to give it to myself.
Yeah, Vivian's been sent there to kill the Mackin or kill the Kellys. Nope, 0. 0 points. Linnea's going to get slashed by JackO after getting nude one more time. She does not get
Julie got nude.
Julie got nude in an almost just as gratuitous fashion.
Also, like, what was up with that extreme close-up on her boobs?
It was very extreme.
Like to the JackO music.
Yeah, very extreme.
You were laughing.
Because it was very like ominous and like impending doom score showing her boobs.
It was almost like in Slumber Party Massacre where they have the very extreme close-up of the boobs to the point where it's like not sensual anymore.
Yeah, it's very clinical, like mammogram.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 0 for Linnea getting sickled or slashed. Okay, number 3, Vivian's gonna refuse to sacrifice the Kellys and will save Sean.
Maybe that was her plan, but it didn't happen because she
really tried to save Sean. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So no.
I feel like our number 4 predictions were similar where I said mom and dad will be trapped but not dead.
Oh, I said Sean will defeat JackO and save his parents.
Yeah, so that definitely happened.
From purgatory.
I mean, in a way, they were in a catatonic state purgatory? Because they weren't really doing anything to help the situation.
They were in a nameless
land. They were waiting for Vivian to nail her cross together when their kids like right over there.
It was a type of purgatory. I'm going to give myself 1 point.
Yeah.
And number 5, the movie will end at a campfire with that creepy uncle from the beginning telling another story.
Okay, we didn't mention this guy, but what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He was probably the scariest character in the movie. So at one point, Sean is trick-or-treating and ends up at that guy's house. He's dressed up as the Phantom of the Opera, and he's just trying to scare the shit out of the kid and laughing maniacally. He
cackles maniacally at least 5 times. And I love Linnea's performance during this scene. She doesn't say anything. She's just staring at this guy very uncomfortably. And like, you can like see her grip on Sean like tightening, like, get away from this man.
Yeah. And then later, this guy who they never say who this guy is. Is he a neighbor?
He's
is he a
just a
family
neighbor.
member? Why is he out camping with your kid? There's a lot of questions going on here.
I am very befuddled by the opening scene of him camping with Sean and Vivian as a witch lurking in the background.
Yeah, I mean,
was that a dream?
I don't know. Maybe it was.
That would be a terrifying nightmare for a little kid. Like you're dreaming of your neighbor camping with you. Your parents are nowhere to be found. And this unknown lady is watching you from like the darkness.
Man, this is the reason why parents are the way they are these days, because this is the kind of shit that kids had to deal with in the 90s.
Like was that a dream or did that happen?
Yeah.
Scary.
So, well, anyways, the neighbor guy or whoever this guy was, he's out walking his dog, and then the dad who's out looking for Sean, because, you know, after like, it's like, what happened to Sean? I heard reports of dead bodies and ghosts and monsters and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So he went out to look for Sean. This was earlier, right? And then that neighbor guy is maniacally laughing at the dad. I'm just like, what the fuck is up with this guy?
They're in the forest. I put them there. Yeah, so I got 1 point.
What a weird character.
That was a weirdo.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So overall I have 1 point. How about
What about
you?
your Whopper? So right now I have 1.5 points.
That was my Whopper. The creepy neighbor was going to get sickled.
Oh, okay, that's right. So my Whopper was that Robbie, the prisoner, is going to be the final kid. He did survive, but that was also
That was your joke.
That was my
Whopper.
joke. I know. I just wanted to mention it again. That dad and son will have to sing the magic limerick to ward off JackO with the help of Vivian, while mom is stuck with haunted house cleanup, divorced. Some things were kind of similar, but no, that's not exactly what happened.
Yeah.
At one point, I was thinking this is going to be sort of a the family has to defeat JackO together. So I was thinking of like Poltergeist.
Poltergeist too, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that didn't exactly happen.
Okay, dad and son did defeat JackO together.
They did. And mom was there too.
Mom was there too.
And
they got breakfast, but so no divorce.
I was going to say, like, for a 90s mom, that was doing a lot, playing a part, because the moms in the 90s didn't even get to go. She would have been stuck doing cleanup.
You have to clean up my eyeballs and paint mess in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that like the little family triad got to be together and get breakfast.
Yeah, they were the final family, which was kind of cool.
Family. That was nice.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I gave myself a 1.5 out of 5.
You are the winner of JackO. Guess the ending. I have 1 point.
1 point. We said this could literally go in any direction. Like anything that happened, it would not surprise me.
Yeah, I thought I was too obvious, but I was not. I was totally wrong.
This movie reminded me a lot of another movie called Elves, a direct-to-video. You refused to watch it because
they killed a cat in a toilet.
Yes, they had a very unnecessary cat death scene.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you know what? Screw this movie. I'm not watching
over
this.
it. I can't watch
I watched
this.
the whole thing, and I would say Elves is a lot cheesier and more low budget than JackO, but it kind of had the same vibe to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll give Elves another watch. I just got to skip past the cat in the toilet scene.
Yeah. But I had a lot of fun with JackO. I thought it was thoroughly entertaining. I did not think that it was good.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Now versus then.
Oh, we're skipping right to the now versus then.
Because I want to ask if you think it is a wine, a Twinkie, or a pumpkin.
I don't see how this could, even though it is about a pumpkin, man, I don't see how this could possibly be a pumpkin. This is a wine for sure.
So it's aged better. It's a
if I saw this movie in the mid 90s, I would be like, what the fuck is this bullshit? This sucked. But, you know, now looking back,
I think, we can appreciate it more now.
I'm still thinking, wow, that was a shit pickle.
Don't say it.
Sorry, I don't want to upset the director.
I felt very uncomfortable listening to that commentary. I'm like, I will never disparage this movie.
Well, I thought like, okay, this is obviously a very low budget film. They had some audio problems where you could hear the sound of wind in one shot.
It was
only couldn't in the other shot.
That was only the final scene, and I felt so bad for the filmmakers because I'm just like, this was like their last shot.
Yeah.
And of course, it's probably like the windiest day, and they only have this day left with like all the equipment.
Yeah, and a lot of the acting was not very great. Linnea Quigley was great. The little kid was mostly really good.
He was just tired at the end.
Yeah, but they had some off characters like that weird neighbor and the people in the flashback
Honestly,
scene.
all the neighbors. Yeah.
But even the other neighbors, the sort of those conservative neighbors, they played it in like a cartoony way.
Yeah, they were caricatures, but they were actually true to those characters.
Yeah.
So you're right. Okay, I'll take it back. The Waltons are fine. The creepy uncle neighbor, the confusing neighbor. Yeah, that was odd.
I'm just trying to say that even despite its flaws, I was thoroughly entertained.
Yeah.
And I thought that JackO was kind of cool. Actually, JackO looked really cool when they had a lot of fog on JackO. But the scene where JackO is fighting off Linnea in the playground and they didn't have any fog.
Yeah.
And it just looks like some dude in a goofy pumpkin
Chasing
head.
Linnea.
chasing Linnea around. That did not look good.
But that scene was all about Linnea and her like screaming and her performance.
Yeah, it didn't bug me, but but what I'm saying is that like despite all of the flaws, I understand that this is a low budget film that is at the very least entertaining.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it for that.
And I think that, we enjoy low budget horror movies. And so it's like, it was very endearing to watch. It wasn't boring. And often when you have something that is lacking in a budget, it can very easily take the boring route. And this did not. I was thoroughly entertained the whole time.
Yeah, I would think of it of like a solid Are You Afraid of the Dark episode with a lot of gratuitous nudity.
Yes.
And more gore than would be on Nickelodeon in the 90s.
Yeah. So like after midnight, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
There were some cool shots though. Like there was a shot of the scythe with dripping blood in the fog. So it's almost like if they would have just added fog to every single scene, it would have looked really cool.
And I'll agree with you. I'm going to call it a pumpkin flavored wine. Some tidbits.
IMDb and both Reddit mentioned that this movie had a DVD release or Blu-ray release from Retro Media that included an absolutely bonkers audio commentary between the director, Steve Latshaw. Is that his name? And then Fred Olin Ray, one of the writers.
And the executive producer.
Yeah, and they're just like jabbing at each other and it's getting more and more uncomfortable because one guy's like really sarcastic and then the other guy's trying to take it really seriously.
So Steve, the director, is taking it very seriously. And he's like, you're not understanding that this was low budget. People put their heart and soul into this. We didn't have money. You wouldn't give us money to like do all the things that we wanted to do. And Fred Olin Ray, the writer / producer, is kind of like just taking it all in stride as kind of a joke. And the two of their personalities aren't meshing.
It's kind of funny.
They're not seeing it
very
on the
entertaining
same page.
to listen to. It starts escalating and they're throwing little jabs at each other and they're getting pissed off at each other.
I felt so uncomfortable listening. We did find like a little bit of the commentary on YouTube.
Yeah. So if you do want to listen to it, you can watch it on YouTube. However, the YouTube video is blocked in the United States. So you might have to use like some sort of VPN software and make it look like you're watching from a different country.
I don't know how to do that. Tony figured it out. And
Or if you're listening from another country, then you can watch the YouTube video, but it's like the best of the audio commentary. And it is very entertaining and also like very uncomfortable to listen to.
So uncomfortable.
The director ends up actually like storming out and walking off of the recording, out of the recording studio.
Yeah.
And then later comes back in and they're like bickering at each other. And he's like, you know what? He's like, well, we've been friends for a long time.
No, the writer says, we've been friends for a long time. And the director says, we're not friends, we're acquaintances.
And then the other guy's like, oh, go fuck yourself. Or something like
and
that.
that's how it ends. It ends on go fuck yourself. One of the commenters on IMDb actually did put a little brief transcription of the commentary. It says, it's pretty obvious that there is some bad blood between them. At one point, Ray jokingly refers to review which calls the film a shit pickle, to which Latshaw gets angry and snaps, we discussed this commentary before. You specifically stated you would would not make any reference to the shit pickle comment, and you laughed your ass off when you told me. You were laughing when you said shit pickle. As a matter of fact, you said shit pickle more than once. You said, that's so funny. Shit pickle, shit pickle. Well, you know what's funny to me? You can sit here and do this fucking commentary yourself. And you hear him get up and walk out of the room. And Fred Olin Ray is like, well, we're going to keep going. We can't pause this commentary because we're in a studio. So this is what's going to be on the commentary.
I love that someone had to make the decision. Well, that's what it is. So yeah, we had one shot at that, put it on there.
We got to keep going. Yeah.
Immediately after, I'm like, I need to buy this DVD.
And we looked it up. How much is it?
It's out of print. You can find it for about $100 on eBay, but I'm not about to pay $100.
Someone's selling it on eBay for $800.
Maybe one day when that's ridiculous.
This is the whole Carnosaur trilogy.
Yeah,
eBay.
exactly. These are people who are asking a high price. They're not going to get it.
One more tidbit. So the cable guy that Julie runs to seek safe haven is played by the director, Steve Latshaw. I thought that was cool. Get into some awards.
Let's get into some awards. All right. I am ready for my JackO awards.
I need to take off my JackO sweater because it became increasingly toasty. Hold for outfit change.
All right, let's give JackO some awards. Let's start with our Axe Award. The Axe Award is for the element or character that you would cut entirely from the film. What gets the Axe Award in JackO?
I'm going to give it to something very minor. Just one line, and it's Linnea's line, I like little boys. I'm sure she didn't like that line either, so I'm going to do her a favor and just get rid of that.
That's probably a solid choice. So I gave my Axe Award to the backstory. So the entire backstory of JackO being a killer magician who was lynched and then vows revenge to become a demon pumpkin.
Yeah.
I think they should have reworked that a little bit.
Yeah.
JackO was a cool villain, but I didn't like that whole part of the movie. So maybe simplifying it somehow.
I agree. I will say when there is a long explanation of what's happening, I tend to tune it out. I didn't really understand. I was like, whatever, it's probably not important. So you actually gleaned a lot more from it than I did.
Yeah, or just think of like Ernest Scared Stupid. The troll is something that had been terrorizing the neighborhood and they like banished it into a box for eternity.
Generations.
Yeah, so it could have been something like that. So I'm getting rid of the backstory.
Yeah, I
want to
agree
keep
with that.
JackO, but I want to change JackO's backstory.
Yeah. Okay. And how about our first aid kit? What person who died are you going to bring back?
That one was pretty easy for me. I'm going to bring back Vivian because why did she had this whole plan. She was going to have the parents do exactly as she said. But I have a feeling they killed off her character because Dad had too many love interests.
He did.
He's walking off into the sunset with not only his wife and the two babysitters. If you would have added Vivian, then it's just like, man, this guy he's too player.
Not allowed to be that lucky. Yeah, I that's a nice one. Poor Vivian. And she's so meticulous, she spent all that time making that cross. She didn't get to use it. And then she was killed. She had like a whole thing that she was going to do and teach the parents how to do it. So she had a whole plan. I agree. I'm going to bring back Mrs. Walton.
Mrs. Walton?
Because at first I was going to bring back Vivian, but then I was like, no, poor Mrs. Walton. I had a feeling that if Mr. Walton died, then she could have led a better life.
She did seem like she held some trauma. There was something about her character where it's like she was angry and upset, but it wasn't for the same reason that Mr. Walton was.
No,
he was just like greedy and kind of a curmudgeon.
He was, and I felt like she had to follow suit because of her husband. She seemed like a prisoner trapped in this house. Even when they were watching TV, she was cowering behind him, and her posture and her walk was very cowery. So I felt bad for her. I was like, she's a victim in this, and she was terrified of JackO. And in her panic and in her haste, she slipped on a rug and electrocuted herself with a butter knife. And all she was
trying to do was make some toast for her husband.
She was trying to make him little toast fingers. Because if
you're right. If you put it that way, I feel bad for her as well.
And with Mr. Walton out of the way, who knows what kind of life she could have led.
Yeah, she could have lived her best life. She wouldn't have been so angry. She would have been like, you know what? I'm happy being a widow. That guy was an asshole.
Yeah, I'm going to give kids candy. I'm going to give them double.
Yeah.
because they're kids.
I'm going to decorate my house with Halloween decor.
And I'm going to leave the porch light on purpose. Yeah. So Mrs. Walton gets my second.
All right. I like
aid
that.
kit.
All right. Next up, we have our second kidney award. Aleece, which character, living or dead, would you have come back in a sequel, a spinoff, a remake, or?
I'm choosing Julie and Caroline for my second kidney. And they're going to go off into a spinoff called Babysitter Demon Hunters.
Babysitter Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because
Yes.
K-pop Demon Hunters is really popular right now. So I kind of feel like you get those babysitters. They're cool. They have yellow leather jackets.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
They do have the style, and Linnea Quigley is just like, anything that she's in,
You can't go wrong.
People want to watch it.
Yeah. So if you have a spinoff with Linnea Quigley and a cool lady with a leather jacket, it's going to be a hit.
That's funny. My same exact second kidney award goes to Julie and Carolyn.
Whoa.
And my sequel is sort of like in the style of Night of the Comet, where it's just them two and they're just having a muck about town and everybody has been killed off by JackO,
Oh, yeah.
the demon who's wiped out
And they're
everybody.
shopping with AK-47s.
They're shopping. They're shooting off Uzis at cars.
Mm-hmm.
They're just having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looking good while doing it.
Yes, that's the sequel I want to see for
Nice.
JackO.
I think we're all in agreement here.
Yeah.
Best intestines. Which character got the best death in JackO?
I have a feeling that we have the same exact one because for me, this was the clear winner, and that was Miss Watson, Miss Amanda Watson.
Mrs. Walton. Amanda Watson? Damn it. I thought it was the Waltons.
Well, that's okay. So Aleece was calling them the Waltons,
Because I
and
was
I didn't even realize that you were calling them the Waltons. They are the Watsons.
Oh, okay. I was reading their little sign in cursive on the front lawn, and it was shoddily carved into their wood sign. It looked like Waltons, but it was in cursive and it was foggy.
So yes, Amanda Watson, she had the best death where she slipped and knife goes into the toaster and she gets electrocuted
For 5
probably
minutes.
even more intense than Daniel Stern in Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
So I was just laughing my ass off, and that was a death that I had never seen before.
Yeah.
That was something that easily could have been in the Final Destination series. They could have easily given her just a little bit of a zzz and then she's dead.
No.
But she was in there shocked and start smoking, and her face was melted off.
Yeah, and we got to see it again. So when Sean went to her house and he looks at her and he's kind of is this a decoration? I can't tell. It smells bad though.
Oh my goodness. Did you have the same one?
Yep.
Yes, I knew it.
Of course I did. It's amazing. I loved it
That
so
was
much.
that was absolutely
It's kind of
amazing.
my favorite scene of the movie.
Yes, I
Yeah.
would agree.
Silver spleen. What one element or thing is your second best for the entire movie?
Okay, I gave my silver spleen to the Pumpkin Man. I really did enjoy this villain of the pumpkin head with the giant jack-o'-lantern head and the scythe. He did look a little goofy when he wasn't enshrouded in fog and that sort of ominous shot of just his head. But I gave my silver spleen to the Pumpkin Man.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
My silver spleen goes to the scene where little Sean is getting buried.
Where he's like, no.
No, it's so cute. He's just little and laying there. He's like, no. Actually, go ahead. I'm going to take a nap right now. It was really great. I loved it. I laughed heartily. Yeah.
Good.
And then finally, our coveted golden gut, Tony. What gets your best thing of the entire movie?
The best thing about JackO is undeniably the unintentional comedy of this movie. So that gets my golden gut. I mean, I know it's a low budget film and there are limitations and all that, but sometimes you just can't help laughing if something is kind of done in a cheap or cheesy way.
And you know what? I take that as a win. If you have entertained people that much to where they are focused, they're not leaving the room, and they're having a good chuckle here and there, that's a win.
Yes. So I quite enjoyed that. What did you give your golden gut to?
My golden gut actually goes to the special effects.
Wow.
Because I enjoyed a lot of the deaths, even Vivian's when he's holding her body in midair and it's obviously
getting tossed around like a rag doll,
a
literally.
plushy little rag doll. It's waving in the air. That was cute. I liked Jim's severed head with that odd expression on his face. And of course, I loved Mrs. Watson's body and death scene.
Yes, burnt to a crisp.
Burnt to a crisp and gooey looking. I was looking up the main special effects person. They worked on movies such as Ginger Dead Man 3.
Wow.
And The Taking of Deborah Logan. Some of those effects gave me some nice chuckles. And like you said, it's like we watch a lot of like low budget horror because we aren't expecting something that's going to get like Oscar nominations. We want something to kind of like relax and watch something fun.
Totally,
and this was fun.
Yeah, it just has to be entertaining. I don't care if it's scary. It just has to be entertaining.
Yeah.
I think there are some horror fans that want movies that are scary.
And only scary.
Yeah, and only scary.
Yeah.
So this is probably not the movie for those fans, but for those who just want kind of like cheap thrills and an entertaining good time, then I think JackO is one that you should put on this Halloween.
Exactly.
Yes. Should we give it a blockbuster rating?
Let's give it a blockbuster rating. Is this going to get a staff pick, a main shelf, a dollar rental? Is it a bargain bin buy and keep, or is it a back alley dumpster?
JackO is going to be a dollar rental for me because I want as many people to rent this as possible. So I'm going to offer it at a very low price and you're going to love it. You're going to enjoy it. You'll still have enough money saved up to get like some drinks and a pizza, and you can
maybe go to a haunted house.
Over. Yeah, you could spend the dollar on the haunted garage.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Yes.
I think this is going to be a dollar rental for me as well. I still want it. You can't keep it. It's not a bargain bin buy and keep. You got to bring it back, but you can watch it for a discounted rate.
Yes. Our Letterboxd rating, I'd probably give this a 3.5, honestly.
A 3.5?
Yes, not because it is a good movie, because it's a movie that I would definitely rewatch.
Okay.
This is a movie that, like I said before, is one that you're going to want to have some people with you, and you're going to want to have some pizza, and you're going to want to have some beers or drinks or whatever, and you're just going to be laughing your ass off at this movie.
It's definitely good if you are adults that aren't really going to go to a party. You're going to have an inside party because you're tired and you feel like Sean on an overnight shoot, and you're like, no. Yeah. You just want to pop in a Halloween themed movie because it's Halloween and you want to do something Halloween themed. That's a great idea.
Yeah, this is a great one for Halloween. This can be in the yearly Halloween rotation. I 100% think that that's going to happen for us.
My criteria for a 3.5 would be solidly like my own, would probably watch again after a couple years.
It hits all of those markers. I solidly liked it. I would own it if the Blu-ray wasn't $100. If it was even $40, I'd probably buy it immediately. And I would watch again after a couple years. I would watch this every year.
Oh, I like that. You know what? I like where your head is at. I'm going to go for a 3, a solid 3, which is still really good. Because for 3, I have things like I liked at least 3 things. It's decently made, or it has some nostalgic and cheesy fun.
Okay.
And I think it definitely does have that nostalgic and cheesy fun. I mean, not nostalgic for me because I didn't watch it back in the day.
Yeah.
But definitely has that cheesy fun quality to it, where I could see if I did watch it in the 90s, it would have that nostalgic value for me.
I would have loved this if I found this in the 90s.
Yeah. And a lot of those movies, I tend to watch with friends.
Yeah. I would say that this movie would be akin to Jack Frost as well. But
yes.
I would probably watch this over Jack Frost.
Really? I would watch Jack Frost over this. Because for me, Jack Frost has more of a nostalgic value to it, and I would bump it up a little bit higher.
Well, we can watch Jack Frost at Christmas, and we'll watch this at Halloween.
2 Jacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just watch it at Thanksgiving, split the difference.
Exactly, yes.
Cool. All right. Any concluding thoughts? Tony, did you learn anything from watching JackO today?
I learned that if you're in the proper position when you are taking a shower, that you are going to be so clean and you're going to be able to get all the hard to reach areas a lot easier.
Like if you never knew how to shower, then watch Linnea Quigley do it because she is very thorough.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. I think my lesson is that rugs are deadly. Do not have a rug in your kitchen.
Do not put a rug in your kitchen next to a live toaster. That is a very good lesson.
I think actually rugs are really, I wonder how many deaths a year are caused by just like throw rugs. I've tripped on many. So
I would also say, like, if you're going to get a whole family to do exactly as you say, don't get slashed before you can carry out your plan, because you left us all hanging.
I know, Vivian. And also, don't spend all your time nailing together a perfect cross. It doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect. No.
You can just hold it together, like
That's
with your
true.
hands.
Yeah.
probably would have been fine.
Yeah. 1 nail, 2 nails max, but like 4 nails, really? I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah. And also, if you're going to have like a haunted garage, then maybe don't charge people money for it because I feel like you would have had more people come. Also, you need to really secure your whole wall full of paint buckets. That was an accident.
You got to clear out the garage before you set up the sheets everywhere.
Yeah, I thought
that could have fallen on a kid.
That could have been on a kid.
Yeah, he's lucky that it fell when it did.
He's very lucky that they had to shut down early. Anyway, lots of lessons from JackO.
Yeah.
Fun watch.
Yeah, this is a very important film.
It is very important.
All right. That about does it for this episode. If you've listened this far, thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, follow, give us a rating. Reach out to us at guttedhorrorpodcast@gmail.com.
Tell us how many pumpkins out of 5 you would give this. Put that in the comments. Tell a friend to watch this episode or subscribe to Gutted. That'd be cool. Thank you for watching and or listening. This has been another episode of
Gutted.